Because no, for real. Because this is some nasty shit. Y'all should put that on Yelp. Put that on Yelp. The rug is nasty. And if for some reason I pass out or some shit like that, y'all drag me onto the floor, please. All right. So it's always interesting coming out here. It's good to see, you know, a lot of and kind of not see some familiar faces and old friends and all that type of stuff. A lot of stuff is happening here. I'm glad that the Liz Lounge has grown. Hopefully it is a time of more inclusivity because back in the day it was hard being black poets in here and kind of breaking barriers in terms of the words we were using and the thoughts we was putting out there and all that. And there was always, you know, some little nitpicker out there in the crowd. But now, you know, all these years later, we live in a much more tolerant America, don't we? All right. Let me adjust this here a little bit. Yeah. All right. So first off, and I don't need any music for this, I'm just going to start off with something that I've been working on because there's a lot of racial strife out there. So this is a poem that I did. It's a love letter to white people. Thank you. Let's get into it. I live in the limelight of obscurity, on the brink of arrogance and uncertainty, and certainly my hurtings are hidden behind curtains so none can see. Because everybody loves a good tragedy and they will run and come to see. Because drama and trauma just seem to come to me, and I have little idea how this has come to be. As far as most are concerned, you can cease to be. They will watch death live on TV. We have become desensitized and numb to the constant hum of the machine that produces madness through white noise which drowns out the sound of the drum. We are the total sum, finite and infinite, fragile yet hard as stones thrown at thrones. I am only skin and bones, my people shades and tones, surveilled by drones, surrounded by chalk lines and cones on streets where there is nothing that we own. We even lease our phones. Keeping up with and feeding our Jones, waiting on tax returns and payday loans, hated by the world and clowned by our clones. We are dehumanized. We are demonized by real demons and beguiled by devils. This shit got levels. We live inside of a labyrinth of lies disguised as truths. There seems to be no way out. Every corridor, every passage, every turn is blocked and a dead end. We live inside of a maze of mischief, set up by the mischief makers just to watch you suffer. They thrive on your confusion. They are masters of illusion. And the fact that you think you are in control is but a sad delusion. We are everything and nothing, unique and the same, wild and tame, raindrops and wind dancing with flickering flame. If agitated contents may become unstable, contents may become volatile, contents may become unviable and thereby discarded by the wayside. Forgotten and unspoken. The statue of a god once worshipped and praised, now buried and broken. I live in the shadow of my own self, constantly moving to chase glimpses of light. And after decades of diligence and dedication to my duty, I still can't say I got it right. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you tonight. There is no pretense and purpose, and power pushes through pain. Once all doubt is removed, only love can remain. So, my daughter's here tonight. Wait here. Stand up, say hello to people. So on the real, there was a part of this journey, right? You know, at the beginning of this poetry scene, I came back to Boston, you know, with my pregnant child's mother in tow. And so when we settled down, this poetry thing was, you know, how cats was eating. You know what I mean? Literally. Bringing home the money and, you know, hitting up every little talent show, a little, you know, open mic that had money, what have you, and bringing that thing home. And one of the great times that I remember down here was a time that rarely happened. My mother came to see me perform, and it was my mother, my grandmother, God rest her soul now, my grandmother passed recently. My grandmother, my mother, my child's mother, and, you know, thank God, because she's 20 years old, they graciously allowed her to come in, you know, underage. And this is her second time being in here underage, because she was here in her mother's belly at the time. So, you know, it's a full circle thing. And, you know, you one of the things, right. Might be the only thing in my life that I got right. Let's do a little love. I had a plant that I loved. I did not own it. It was not a possession. It was given to me. It was a gift. It was a living thing with its own personality and spirit. Free-willed, definitely not a shrinking violet. I am by no means a gardener, and I do not have a green thumb. In fact, I am clumsy. 2 thumbs. I am lucky that in my enthusiasm, I did not drop and break the pot. I loved this plant. I loved her. It was a she. I loved the plant so much I placed it in a prominent spot, and soon I rearranged my room and my whole home to make this plant the centerpiece. And in my enthusiasm, my love for this plant, I would talk to it daily and tell it that I loved her, while stroking and massaging the leaves. And I would water the plant. I would water the plant every day while telling it I loved it and talking to it. Every day I would water and water and water. The plant began looking different, responding to me different. The energy was different, and I became nervous and afraid. So I watered the plant more, and I talked to the plant more, telling the plant that I loved it more, and watering it more, telling the plant how important it was to me. Don't be sick. The plant died. I did not own it. It was not a possession. It was given to me. It was a gift. And the plant died. And I killed it. I am not a gardener by any means. And I do not have a green thumb. In fact, I am clumsy. I have 2 thumbs. And in my enthusiasm, I am lucky that I did not drop and break the pot. But in my enthusiasm and all my love and care and concern for this plant, I never read the instructions. Clearly marked on the bottom of the pot, this plant does not need a great deal of care. This plant is resilient and will grow on its own. Be careful of overwatering. And in my enthusiasm, in my love, in my care, in my concern, I killed the plant that I loved. I killed her. I overwatered. Love is complicated.
Oh, yes, it is.
Love is overrated, underappreciated. Love is elusive. Love is intrusive, tailor-made and exclusive, inclusive of all that is in your circumference and perimeter. I know sometimes it's overwhelming. I can't explain it. And if you think it is difficult being the recipient of all this love and affection, imagine being the one trying to control and maintain it, to hold it in and contain it, to wrestle with it and restrain it. My intentions are multidimensional and unconventional, seemingly without bounds or border, patiently awaiting when things are restored to their proper order. Peaceful, serenity, harmonious bliss. I contemplate this like a man wants heaven but unsure if he is worthy. Clean heart but hands dirty. Mind pure but body tainted. I offer everything I have on the altar. The good to be partaken of and the bad to be burned. Let the smoke rise to the skies and behold the ash of a past too painful to be burdened by in the future. I know sometimes it is intense, and I am being killed by the suspense, waiting on the day when it will all make sense. By design you could never be mine. You are not a thing to be owned, but a queen to be crowned, a treasure to be found, that cannot be possessed. Plans erode into fantasies, intangible and yet still desirable. In love, there is a thin line between fearless and careless. The love I have for you is not even concerned if it is returned. This love is a culmination of everything I have learned. This is a new plant grown from a seed fertilized by the ashes of everything I burned. Love burns like fire in the belly of a dragon, and its tragic nature is to breathe it. Dares only breathe it alone, as experience has shown. It often scorches everything in its path, leaving only embers and ash in empty homes where there once lived dreams. Emptiness produces an echo which will repeat back to you in your own voice, either the lie or the truth you choose to tell yourself. I am fond of the freedom found in fantasy. I do not like being bound and tied down by reality. It leaves scars. And when I breathe out my love dragon-like, it leaves burns. Sometimes I feel like God and the devil take turns. It is either blissful and bountiful blessings or temptations and tribulations. Either the euphoria of eureka or the funk of frustration. My soul cannot be satisfied by perpetual contemplation. I must move to a point where the point can be proved, where the savage beast within me can be soothed. I tried to exercise my own demons, but I am no saint. They continue to haunt me, their voices like echoes repeating lies I once told myself. And as I move further away, the echoes become faint. I have battled my share of demons. It leaves bruises.
How we doing on time? You doing good?
Keep going. You're going to do your thing, Papa. You were doing it. You're on CPT. You're on CPT. Steve, calm down.
You know I got a rowdy crowd, Jeff.
Don't let us get started.
We like this drummer better. Yeah, there was an incident. Randy, no, you know what I'm saying? Blake been here forever. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Hey, Blake, good money. Alright, okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna get on something else. Time. I was let into a home. It was beautiful. I was invited in. The exterior of the house was exquisite, well put together, and ornamented so appropriately. But when I came inside the house, I was overwhelmed by its beauty and intricacy. The decorations were placed just so. This house had many rooms. Some of the rooms were very warm and inviting, with sunlight shafting through the windows, looking like lights from the heavens. Other rooms were cold and dark. You could almost sense a presence there, but it did not scare me, and I was not afraid. There was one room that I wanted to explore, but I was never let in. And as I wandered about and took note of the wonders of each room, both sunny and joyful, and cold and dark, and rooms in between, I could never get that one room out of my mind. I so wanted to go in. I would walk by and look at the door and ponder what it would be like to go in, what it'd be like to get let in, what wonders are on the other side of that door. I knocked on the door, and I heard something inside, but for whatever reason, it refused to respond. I wanted to get in that door so bad, so I sat down outside the door and patiently waited.
Wow.
We're gonna do this, and then if I get off my phone, then we'll do scared, and we'll be out here. This one always makes me cry. Hopefully not now. When I die, who will mourn me? When I die, who will miss me? When I die, who will cry for me? When I cry, who will wipe my tears? If I go away, who will miss me? Who will console me in my moment of fear? Who will protect me? Who will respect me? Who will stand by my side, and what would they do if I died? When I die, who will miss me? Who will bend over the coffin and lean in and kiss me? Who will remember me when I'm gone? Who remembers me now while I'm here? Who wants to be around? Who wants me near? Whose biggest fear is when I'm gone? Who is worried about losing me? Who keeps it clear as to not be confusing me? Who is choosing me? Who is really about that life and not just using me? When I die, who will miss me? Who says that I am there no matter what? Because I am always there no matter what. Who feels love for me in their gut? Who watches the clock tick while I am away? Who hates when I leave and wants me to stay? Who will cry with me? At one time, I could not get a tear to drop. Now I can't get the tears to stop. Who will lie with me? Who will remain true? In whom can I confide? Who will ride? And what would they do if I died? When I die, who will say he was a great man? He was the love of my life. When I die, who will remain? Who will mourn me? Who will live on and hold on to my memory? When I die. What you call it? I can't swipe action. That's horrible.
Okay, take your time.
Yeah, that ain't even gonna work. Nah, that ain't even gonna work, y'all. That's not even gonna work. So, alright, so with that.
Wait, what about you?
I don't got none of that off the top of the head, so what y'all gonna get is a piece of this thing that I was working on that I didn't finish. And we'll just end this. I just do this a cappella, you know what I mean? This is a little rip runner. Yeah. Y'all bear with me once again. I just was scribbling this down. Chaos or community? Where do we go from here? Unity or continued coonery? Tomfoolery or buffoonery? The new revolutionaries only need to take a knee to like and retweet a hashtag, while blackbird bodies are road rash. Fetch me a switch, code switch, a bitch ain't nothing but a bitch. Chaos or community, where do we go from here? Spiraling down into savagery, debating debauchery, where your president has set a precedent to grab him by the pussy. Where Me Too has made a mockery of macho masculinity, and Mighty Whitey feeling that fragility. But somehow we still stifle our ability to give them some sort of comfortability. We deny our divinity. We come from shitholes that birthed civilizations, not countries, nations. And now Neanderthals with nicks, Negroes with nuance. Bam. Alright, so sorry about that. Unfortunately, I don't have the thing. So with that, I'm gonna just say this. And you know, for real, since doing this poetry thing, you know, I've had the pleasure of being touched by a lot of special black women in the poetry field and life and all that. You know, and obviously, as I mentioned, you know, my grandmother, obviously, you know, my daughter here, Sister Irvine's birthday, good friend Janice, all these sisters, Nala, Sister Hill, Stacy, you know what I'm saying, Lisa Lee, Ayana. There's a lot of sisters, you know what I mean, out in the community who represent and do beautiful things, you know what I mean. So for real, Umaleni, Crystal, of course, Amanda, Baboom, you know, so brothers want to salute, you know, and in this age of Me Too, and all this stuff coming on, and every woman got a horror story, we hope that we are the brothers who are striving to be helpful and be an ally in what's happening. And sometimes too, in this poetry world, some ugly things have happened and said and been done, and even in that we strive, you know, to work together and on and out into the community. So I just want to say shout out to the sisters, love that, keep that forward. All right, bless.
gentlemen. Give it up, give it up, give it up for Jamarhl. Come on now. Come on, Crawford. Uno. Prophet. Blake going on the bass. Give it up for Blake. We gotta give it up for Blake. Phil Neighbors on the drums. Phil Neighbors on the drums. Just Robinson Phil. We're gonna bring up the open mic right now. In fact, we're gonna bring up the open mic right now. We're jumping right in. We're jumping right into the open mic. We're gonna get right into it. What are we waiting for? Let's do this right now. Is Sadi still in the house? Yes! Sadi? Come on, y'all. Give it up for Big Brother Sadi.
All right. Oh man. You know, one thing, I don't mean to interrupt what you're doing right now, but you know me, I like my being a little big boy, you know what I mean? Alright, so you know when to come in, right? Alright. Hey yo, somebody said do that shit, do it. Big brother, do that shit, come on. Hey yo, peace to the gods, the goddesses, the sons of the earth, to the kings and the queens and the daughters, the sons of the birth to. All for one with love. This one is a virtue, you sinning my love. That one's gonna hurt you. God name, Big Brother, I'm universal. 24 bars a verse, one in the verse two. 16 bars of pieces, I spit in this reverse. The voice of the people, laced up with a reverb. True, eternal living, every death is a rebirth. Spontaneous with these words, no need to rehearse. Young and slow, now stop and put it on reverse. Couldn't deal with Hollywood, bad actors on these words. Trying to reach for the heights that you had to see first. Album fitting the drop and I'm hoping to see first. I ain't mad at you, you hit the bad guy, I see worse. Could have taken a shot by the back, that's it work. Yo, when I said do that, you have to do it. Do that shit, come on. I rock well, look, nobody's watching me for my music, Jesus. For this cause, I was trying to buy Judas Malcolm. The one that get asked that why I do this, all of my jacket is swag, who's bad? My goodness, the roots of all evil is one, that's holy. She goes right, dog. Most definitely black on both sides, rank higher than most. So close to the most side, uplifted. Shooting the gift and hitting the both sides. I mean, shooting the fifth look, minute of 4-5, that's 9. Don't even know why, I listen to those lines, I mean. Not from the hood, still living close by. Chucky, the good guy, and the villain both die. I'm minister without a suit on the both sides. Even in my lowest, still all praise due to the both sides. Big brother, the name that I go by. God level so high, it look like the way I'm keeping it so fly. Hey yo,